Hello everyone, my name is Marisa Naismith and I'm from the Queensland Conservatorium, Griffith University, where I'm employed as a CCM singing teacher in the Bachelor of Music program working with the popular music cohort. The term contemporary commercial music, or CCM as we know it, emerged in the literature in the year 2000 when the acronym was coined by Jeanette Levetri. It was around this time also that a consistent lack of a pedagogical approach for training singers across this diversity of music styles was first identified. As a result of cross-cultural exchanges in Western popular music culture, along with advancements in technology, CCM is no longer exclusive to countries such as the USA and the UK, where this music first originated, but it has since infiltrated into other continents such as Asia and Europe. Due to this shift and fusion in music communities, the CCM industry has truly become an international phenomenon and continues to dominate global music markets in the 21st century. The Nielsen Music Report is the music industry's leading data provider that supplies US music industry's figures and charts. It serves to help us understand the attitudes and behaviours of music fans and gives us a clear insight into what consumers are listening to. The 2020 report revealed that there were 1.15 trillion on-demand streams through audio and video platforms during 2019. The report also shows that CCM genres represented 99% of total music consumption during that year. In contrast, these figures reveal that classical music represents a mere 1% of total music consumption for the same period. The increase in consumption of CCM styles and how audiences interact with this music has created a growing demand for vocal instruction across a broad range of CCM styles in both private studio and university programs. As the number of CCM students seeking training continues to increase, voice teachers, including classical voice specialists working in this dynamic and constantly evolving music industry, must be able to offer training approaches that reflect current market standards and practices. Despite the significant growth in CCM production, a pedagogical framework has yet to be developed that caters for the diversity and scope of CCM styles and their associated vocal characteristics. Singing teaching methodologies remain fixed in centuries-old classical traditions and have yet to be developed to cater specifically to the demands and needs of CCM singers, especially in higher education settings. Based on the most current research, there are fewer than 10 graduate programs that offer doctoral degrees in voice pedagogy in the United States, and only 2 offer a master's degree specifically in CCM voice pedagogy. Given the current state of affairs, we can see there is a massive imbalance between the demand and supply in the CCM sector. The goal of my doctoral research was to investigate the backgrounds, teaching practices, and perspectives of 9 eminent CCM pedagogues who were selected based on their extensive experience and/or prominence in the field of teaching CCM singing voice. The aim of the study was to seek to develop and describe a specific pedagogical framework for the training of singers across the broad range of CCM styles. And this was by way of the documentation of commonalities in the pedagogues' approaches to technique and performance elements, as well as a number of other issues such as vocal health. I employed a qualitative investigatory approach, choosing to collect the data using a set of pre-formulated semi-structured interview questions. The questions were based around a number of themes that were referenced repeatedly in the literature, along with a reflection of my own training, experiences, and professional background in the CCM industry for over 45 years. The first set of questions related to the pedagogue's professional backgrounds, influences, and pathways to CCM. I felt this would serve to provide an understanding of how they had formulated their own personal CCM teaching strategies. A second group of questions explored the participants' teaching approaches they had developed in relation to the key components of technique as identified in the literature. This next group of themes were deemed to be more subjective and related to areas of vocal coaching. A fourth set of questions was developed to provide an insight into important philosophical considerations and the pedagogue's beliefs based on their own knowledge and experiences. Through the process of analysing the 9 pedagogues' responses against the pre-identified key themes, several similarities in perspectives, teaching aims, focus, and approaches became apparent. The results from this research identified a foundational pedagogical framework for singers of CCM styles. The 3 core components highlighted in this slide reflect the key themes that are the most integral to the framework, that is, the individual student and the key elements of technique and repertoire and style. In brief, these 3 core components provide structure for a focused approach to the training of CCM singers. The relationship of each component to the others is interactive, and each informs and influences the others. I view each core component as having a number of subcomponents that can best be described as satellites that share an intricate and dynamic association. So what follows is an overview of the relationship between each core component and its subcomponents within the framework. The 9 pedagogues agreed that every singer is unique, and the subcomponents of this part of the framework must accommodate the individual student while recognizing the value of personalized learning. It follows that a pedagogical framework must be a flexible structure that can be readily modified according to a student's age and stage of physical development, technical ability, as well as their special interests and needs. In the framework, the core components of technique has 4 subcomponents: alignment, breath flow and support, resonance, and articulation. The pedagogue's common aim in teaching the key elements of technique was to develop healthy, sustainable, and efficient vocal production. The pedagogues regarded these subcomponents as integral to creating vocal freedom for the individual student and for facilitating vocal authenticity across the vast range of CCM styles. The subcomponents of repertoire and style are style authenticity, vocal effects, and performance and artistry. The pedagogues agreed that singing teachers had a responsibility to provide training that was relevant to repertoire demands and supportive of individual vocal expressivity and proficiency within each style. As I stated earlier, CCM is a dynamic industry, and the temporal nature of CCM requires a framework that is adaptable and responsive, allowing the CCM singer to develop creativity while supporting foundational technique for positive vocal health outcomes across a broad range of CCM styles. This framework is not intended to be applied rigidly. This framework offers a starting point, and the results from this research also offers informed recommendations about progressing the field of CCM singing voice pedagogy. Most importantly, I hope this research will inspire others to conduct further research so we can assist our singers in this ever-evolving marketplace. Thank you.